Police enter pro-Palestine UCLA encampment after students refuse to disperse. What we got here? Where are the U.S. college campus protests and what is happening? Police raid UCLA protest camp as clashes over Gaza spread across US. They don't want people to see this. They don't want people to know this, and that's why they send in the police. U.S. campuses protest update. Police clear protest pro-Palestine UCLA camp. That was Al Jazeera. The Guardian. UK student begin new wave of protests against Gaza war after U.S. arrest. And LTE. Order must prevail. Uh, mm, Order must prevail amid U.S. protests over Gaza. That's Joe Biden. That's RTE. So we got more stories here. The Independent. Which one is the nearest one? Let's go with Al Jazeera. It was a live page. So let's look at this. Young people who are predominantly those who are social media reporting from Montreal, Canada. Like those in the US, the encampment at Canada McGill University has struck a chord, a chord both with the student and wider community members who support the protesters and with the pro-Israel politicians and groups that have vehemently denounced them. It's always the politicians, the corrupt system. Some supposed to say that the government have steered such strong reaction because they are highlighting stark inconsistency. Government that say they promote human rights but provide unwavering support to Israel. Yes, universities that say they promote freedom of expression but send police to break up peaceful protests. Right wing politicians that denounce liberal safe space policy but are now arguing that pro Israel students feel unsafe. The student protests have exposed a lot of the contradiction in political discourse in the US and by extension in Canada too, said Barry Hedling, an associate professor of sociology at McGill University. Let's see. It hit too close. No, it hit so close to home for people, and there's this sort of hypocrisy between what our governments say they stand for in terms of democracy, human right, freedom, and the kind of action that they are supporting in Gaza, he told Al Jazeera. Trump weighed in on protest from hush money trial. Biden comment came shortly after Trump, who he is set to face off against the 2024 presidential election. Again, weighted in on the protest. Speaking outside of his criminal trial, where he faces 34 felony charge related to payment made to an film adult film star, Trump praised police in New York and California for cracking down on protesters. The new the NYPD did a job. Sorry, did a good job. No, did a job in Colombia and likewise in Los Angeles. They did a rally, a really good job at UCLA. He says the NYPD did a good job, and I went in Los Angeles and they did a really good job at UCLA. He said. He then renewed a familiar line. These are radical left lunatics and they have got to be stopped, he said. Biden finally breaks his silence on campus protests. The US President Joe Biden has been under pressure not just by his rival in the upcoming presidential election, former President Donald Trump, but also from the American public who have been wondering why he's been absent. What have we got? Oh, to be honest, I'm a bit tired here. There have been comments from the National Security Council spokesperson, the deputy press secretary, the press secretary, all saying pretty much what the president said, that these protests are not within the law, that the White House supports free speech, the right to protest, and freedom of assembly, but that it doesn't support protests that are unlawful. One of the questions asked to President Biden was whether the demonstrations will make him change any of his policy on Gaza. The answer was no, without hesitation or qualification, and that's what could have quelled this disruption. The fact that he was not willing to budge on that is going to be a problem for Biden. For Biden, because he needs these young people to win re-election and well, one second of one of the questions I asked the president, yeah, he responded that Biden because he need these young people to win re-elections, and he trails Trump in a lot of battleground state. The U.S. president has a problem, and so far he has not changed his stance. protests will not affect policy. National Guard shall not be deployed. That's what Biden said. US President Joe Biden responded to two questions after completing the brief statement. Right, guys. Um, I'm tired, guys. I'm always tired. Apologies. Protests will not affect policy. National Guard shall not be deployed. How do we do this? Let's finish this. US President Joe Biden responded to two questions after completing a brief statement. First, he was asked if the campus protests had affected his view in his administration's policy. No, he responded. Second, he was asked if the US National Guard should be deployed to quell protest. No, he said. Biden says not a moment for politics, but for clarity. In his speech, Biden said it was not a moment for possible. It was instead a moment for clarity. He went on to say that peaceful protest in the U.S. is protected, but violent protest is not. Destroying property is not a peaceful protest. It's against the law, he said. He added, he added that protests should not veer into harassment or prevent other students from receiving their education. There should be no place in any campus place in America. In America, for anti-Semitism and threats of violence against Jewish students. Biden's statement cut to question at the heart of the protest. He has been he has been among several elected officials who have portrayed the protest as broadly anti-Semitic. Yeah, organizers have said critics have conflated criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism, using allegation of hate speech to stifle their voice. They also point to the large presence of Jewish people amongst protesters. Biden notably ignored one of the worst acts of violence to be committed at the student protests over the past 2 weeks. Biden notably ignored one of the worst acts of violence to be committed at the student protests over the past 2 weeks, the attack by pro-Israeli protesters on the pro-Palestinian protesters. You see? Oh, God. But neither are we lawless country, he added. So addressing protests, Biden said that they have been a test for free speech and the rule of law. We are not an authoritarian nation where we silence people or squash dissent. The American people are heard, he said, but neither are we a lawless country, he added. Oh God, I'm so tired, yeah. Guys, I'm so tired. In New York, At least 29 protesters were also arrested overnight. The most recent of these were the UCLA, where police cleared the protest encampment today. At Dartmouth College, 90 others were arrested overnight. In New York, at least 29 protesters were also arrested overnight at Stony Brook University and 16 at the University of Buffalo, two campuses of the state's university system. We are horrified and dismayed to see student journalists and their advisor physically attacked, intimidated by police, and unfairly restricted in their access to their own building, said the group, which included the Society for Professional Journalists, the College Media Association, and the Student Press Law Center. Media right group called on university to respect student journalists. In a letter to the college administrator, several prominent groups said that the nation is currently turning to student journalists for accurate and timely information. They don't want that. They don't want people to be informed. The maltreatment cannot continue, they say. There will be They are still very different. Some of them are talking, others are smiling. Level said, we have actually heard singing within these buses. They are still singing Free Palestine. He added that the California Highway Patrol had said 132 people had been arrested, but that the number could be higher. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. Both the pro-Palestine campaign and the pro-Israeli counter-protest site now lay empty. What remains are 10 gas masks, fire extinguishers, and wooden barricades, which the pro-Palestinian side used to defend themselves after being violently attacked by a pro-Israeli group late on Tuesday. You see, that is the problem. That is the problem. Honestly, where are we going here? You had a pro-Palestinian protester, a protest camp. Then the pro-Israel protests attacked them, and then the government says, "Oh, look, we're not having none of these. You guys have to go. It's just a mess. We have to go. You have to dismantle this thing. You can't sit here. You can't be here." Pro-Palestine protesters have now gathered at the UCLA next to the former encampment. They've been here for hours. They are not really causing the police too much. They are not posing. So it says they have been here for hours. They are not really causing police too much concern. They are chanting, they are singing. Like I've said, these protesters are very, very determined. They have been. Let me see this. They have They have camped out here for days, and it echoes what we've seen at other universities across the country. I have been to several of these over the last week, and what we saw at a few of them was that protesters are taken away, booked, and then they are back. They might not be camping out again because for them this is something that will continue, something that will continue, right? So that's all I have there for you today, is that the system, the Western media, the pro-Israeli media, the Zionist movement doesn't like the truth. They are just accustomed with lies. So whenever the truth comes, the rest goes out the window. So now we have this situation with Israel and Palestine, and the protests now expanding everywhere in France, in Belgium, in Canada, in England, in Ireland, everywhere students are protesting because of the help that we get from social media. This is just normal. We see the information there, we see the news, what the news is saying, and we understand clearly that they are lying. They are deceiving. They're trying to deceive us, trying to create a different uh, perspective, a different narrative, a different reality to the reality that we see on the ground. And that is the problem. So you guys tell us what you think about this in the comment section below. My next video is on Donald Trump endless fine and breach of the gag order. Tell us what you think in the comment section below, and the debate continues.